the question that I had for you was, in terms of finding a good deal, like what is your process for that? Because I imagine that like if you're buying a property for 20 and you're putting 20 into it or 30 into it, and it's worth 100, it sounds like you're getting a pretty good discount on that property. What would you say would be a strategy for maybe a viewer that's looking for a property? Like, are you buying from real estate agents? Are you buying from wholesalers? Are you going direct to owner? What does that look like?
All the above. So where we're weakest right now and where I was strongest in the past is always going direct, because I flipped a lot here in Vegas. I had a call center and everything like that. But right now, since I've got so many things going on, my mail is going still because we use Deal Machine, which I think is a great product. And, so I get inbound phone calls and I take down, a few houses a month that way. And then, I have lots of relationships with wholesalers, and I'm on a lot of lists. And then I'm a deal junkie, man. I'm always looking, and so you have to be. So, and then I got guys who know that I'm looking. I always try to let everybody know what I'm looking for, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll be like, you know what? Hey, I'm a buyer. If you need this, I'm a buyer. Like, if I deal with an agent in one interaction, so obviously having a great agent, right? And somebody who's willing to write low offers for cheap investors, that gets it, like, you're going to buy more than one property, right? And you're going to flip them, and you're actually going to teach them a lot and stuff. And the reason that am probably a pretty good guy to work with is because I was taught by the banks. They taught me how to become an excellent buyer, an excellent negotiator, and they taught me all that by watching the transaction between them and the buyer, right? And I was just the agent, and I watch all these little tricks and strategies, and I just picked them up as I'm watching this, and I use them now. And so, let me kind of full circle that answer. So first thing is, you got to find an agent who's willing to write a lowball offer, okay? Because a lot of times stuff is just plainly overpriced, and everybody's scared to write a low offer on it. And like, that's going to get the ball rolling, whether it's, and I've had so many occasions where I've had to fight with like a good agent friend of mine. I'm like, just write the fucking offer. Sorry. Just write the freaking offer, And he's like, okay, fine. He's not going to take this. And then next thing you know, he's like embarrassed to call me and say, the guy accepted your offer and I can't believe this. And, it's something like where it was 100 grand and I offered 25 or something like that. And that happens so much because I go just what it's worth, or what I think it's worth. And finding motivated sellers is the number one. That's what I'm going to tell people here, is finding motivated sellers. If they've got more time than they got money, finding motivated sellers is the best way. Finding people who are in distress that you can help solve problems for, who are not motivated by money, and don't think that you're ripping them off, because that's not a good relationship. They believe that you're helping them, which you are, and they're not money motivated. You're right. And all those things, because as you know, and I know, that we have to disclose more than most people. So I got to disclose I'm a licensee. I got to disclose that I even disclose I'm buying it at a discount, just so I cover all my bases. But finding the properties direct from the owner is the best deal always, in my opinion. But also, I found fantastic deals on the MLS, and I would tell you, there's some rules that I will break now that I used to not break, is I'll go straight to the other agent, where I was always loyal to one agent, but then I would find out that they weren't as loyal to me and on certain things. So sometimes on the listing, to get it, you want to make sure that you write it with the agent who's representing both sides.
Basically. Yeah. It's
awesome. But MLS, there's so many different sources. HUD Home Store, especially if you're a first-time investor and you want to get started, you can take advantage of like the fact that you can move into your first one as a flip, turn it into something, qualify for like zero down financing and all sorts of things, and even free money. Just, it's starting is the hardest thing that most people have a problem with. Once you start, you're going to encounter failure. And if you look at failure as just an obstacle in your way of success, you'll figure it out. But if you're not a determined person and you're a quitter, you're never going to be successful in anything anyways, right? So it's like retraining your brain to only think of solutions and success and to ignore everything else.
That's awesome.